Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are back in Kerbal Space Program. Took a little bit of a break from it, played some other games, but well, we're back. We're back here, and for people that have followed this stream before, this should be a reasonably familiar vehicle. This is the vehicle that I took the last time I did this stream to Moho. And for those people that are not familiar with this little series, this started with a marathon stream celebrating my 10,000th subscriber last fall. And I started with a science mode, pure stock game, not even the DLCs. And the goal was to land on as many places as I could. And I got to 6. And I thought that wasn't so bad, getting to 6. And then I took a break from it, came back to it, and then spent like, I don't know, another 7 or 8 hours getting to this thing to Moho and back just to add one more flag. So we're now up to 7. And the plan today is to take this thing to Eeloo and maybe also Dres. I'm not promising on that one. That one depends on how things are going. But I'm hoping that maybe in 2 or 3 streams, I think it'll take probably about that, to complete the mission. Gonna go for Eeloo for sure. And hopefully get Dres on the way back. That's kind of the plan. Hello, Alf, and welcome. So, you can see here we got 7 flags. I'm hoping to get 2 more on there. And then the remaining flags are simply the Jool system and Eve, which of course this thing can't do. This thing can do a lot, but now you might be looking at this thing can't fly to Eeloo. You're absolutely right. There is a support vehicle up here, a command module as it were. This is the same command module that went to, let's set it as a target, that went to Moho. In fact, point of fact, people that watched that last stream coming back from Moho, I was a little nervous about having the fuel, so I put some support vehicles into orbit about Kerbin so that if I ran out of fuel, I could run out and go get my Kerbals. And this is actually one of those support vehicles. I put that up months ago. All I did was rename it from the Moho 1B to the Eeloo one. But it is actually a vessel designed to go to Moho. But that's okay. We'll make use of it. So let's get started. Let's time warp. We're going to have to dock with this thing. So let's time warp. We'll get this thing flying. And then I'll kind of talk about the plan as we're on our way up. Alpha's a fan of the leftmost Kerbal. you picked the right time to show up, Alf. We'll go over that in just a little. So, oh, I'm sure that's fine. It'll take us a little while to get up there. Let's see this. So, SAS on, throttle up. I'm nervous with this, even though I've flown it now. A couple brakes on, engage. Let's go. And this is, well, it's clunky, it's stumpy, and this for a reason. I'll explain the reason in a little bit for those people that aren't that familiar with it, but let's get going. Let's get up in the air here first. Pitching up if we can. Off the runway we go. Okay. It is not the bestest of flyers. I'll be the first to admit that. It is, let's pitch up a little more. Okay, there we go. That'll do for now. Because it's kind of stumpy and awkward, and that's because this front half is actually a lander for landing on airless worlds. It has landing gear and all kinds of junk hidden in here, and that's what this fairing is about covering. But that's what makes this thing, it's multi-purpose. It can, you know, the idea is to land this on Eeloo. It has already, or at least not this one, but the exact same design, did already land on Moho, so that was kind of my proof of concept that it does kind of work. I did make some very, very minor changes. I put on, should have been on, a drain valve right up here at the top so that if I have extra resources, I can drain them to kind of lighten the load. If we're going to go to Dres, we might need to be doing that. And the other thing I did is I ripped out all the science because I've completely filled up the tech tree. It's not... Alright, I'm just looking at my heading here. The tech tree is filled out, so there's no reason to collect any more science. I need to pitch up just a little bit more. So I ripped out all the science. It's under this fairing. I'll show it to you once the fairing is gone. And replaced them with RTGs, because this thing was solar powered going to Moho, but solar is going to be at a premium out at the edge of the Kerbal system. So that is so I replaced them with RTGs just for the electricity thing. I'm being asked, is the flag count accurate? And yeah, it should say 7 out of 15. Thus the 7 are in order in which I did them: Kerbin, Moho, or not, sorry, Kerbin, Kerbin, the Moon, Minmus, then I went to Gilly, then I went out to Duna and Ike, and then I went to Moho. That should add up to 7, right? I'm hoping that adds up to 7. Okay, I can pitch down here a little bit. Alright, and we'll meet our crew. So our crew here, all 0 experience. They will gain experience as they go. We have our pilot, Alf A. Kerman, a scientist, Sean S. Kerman. Seeing some flamies, but I think that's all fine. Engineer, Floris G. Kerman, and then a second engineer, Martin E. Kerman. Usually I have 2 scientists and an engineer, but don't need the scientists to work the science lab anymore, so got 2 engineers instead. And if these do not sound like Kerbally, very Kerbally type of names, that's because they are Patreon and YouTube member names. Yes. I'm seeing in the comments, Kerbalism, yay, this is not my Kerbalism stream. Just to make sure that that's clear. Let's start leveling off here a little bit and picking up some more speed. We're doing pretty good. These rapiers make life so much easier. Lordy lord, they can punch up pretty much anything. I think I'm getting close to thinking about rocket mode here. Yeah, let's do it. So, have that on action group 1. Switch it to closed cycle mode on the engines, pitch up a bit. And that should also have closed our air intakes. And, whoa, I should be paying attention to how the... Oh, let's reduce our throttle a little bit. I don't want our apoapsis to get too far away from us. Like I said, these rapiers are crazy. Okay, oh, James is disappointed. No Kerbalism. I'll get back to the Kerbalism live streams. I do promise. I think I left it in a bit of a cliffhanger, so I think there's some obligation on my part to finish that off. But this is a nice palate cleanser, I think. Doing a stock one like this. So I'm watching my time to apoapsis. I don't want it to get too far ahead of me. That's why I am reducing thrust. I think I can also begin pitching down here. I just wanted to get into the thinner part of the atmosphere. Probably lock it to prograde very, very soon. Hello there, Mr. Jahabel. And welcome. Glad you could make the stream. Very little thrust here. My apoapsis is about 2 minutes away from me, so I kind of want to keep... Oh, these guys can't lock to prograde or anything. Level 0 pilot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're taking this up to an 80-kilometer orbit, so I do want to kind of keep an eyeball on that. Let's put this right on prograde. I think that should be fine. And we'll just keep this going until this gets to 80, I think. I think so. And by the way, I actually had, as part of my backup plan to Moho, I actually had another one of these in orbit in case it was needed for helping my crew coming back from Moho. And I'm watching my apoapsis here at the same time. Pitch down. But it isn't necessary. So I actually landed it. And you might recall, let's just wait, I'm almost at 80 kilometers, so I should be ready to cut my apoapsis here. You might recall that when I came back from Moho, I was very paranoid about this thing because I never Never ever descended it before. And so we ended up ditching it into the water. And it all went fine, but I did not go for the runway. I want people to know that I actually did land the clone of this one, the one that was in orbit. I did land it on the runway on my first try. It went very, very well. And that was with no crew aboard and losing communication for a good chunk of the descent because of plasma blackout. All of a sudden I found myself, I couldn't control the probe anymore, or the ship anymore, because we were stuck in, because there was a plasma blackout. And it just rode it through perfectly. Like, it just kind of held its attitude of about 30 degree, angle of attack of about 30 degrees, and it just kind of held that all the way through, didn't do anything weird, and just held that until I got control back and was able to land it on the runway. So I am a little optimistic, you know, fingers crossed, that I should be able to bring this thing back to the runway. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the fairing here. Let's deploy this. Kind of have to do that anyway. Now you can see how this is a lander underneath, and I can do the one change that I made in there was before all kinds of science. I just ripped it all out and just replaced it with 4 RTGs. The electricity demand on this thing will not be high because there's no science to transmit. There's no nothing. It's just for... In KSC, as long as you're not transmitting science or working the science lab or doing resource excavation, resource harvesting, the electricity demands just aren't very much. Okay, where are we at? Getting close to our Apoapsis here. You're very welcome, Mr. Jahabel, for the guides. I'm glad that people enjoy them. All right, let's see here. About 20 seconds from Apoapsis. Let's fire these up a little bit. Oh, I don't like not having the lock to prograde. I think I have my settings so that these folks will level up automatically. So I think they will go to level 1. Whoops, a little bit more thrust here, please. Not really paying attention. They should all go to level 1 as soon as we get in orbit. If not, there is a science lab aboard. Sorry, I'm multitasking here, letting that get too far ahead of me. There is a science lab aboard the vessel that we're aiming for. So if I don't have that set right, I can level them up once they've docked. I'm not quite in an orbit. Just my Apoapsis is getting away on me, so I cut my throttle. Just do the last little bit of this right here. All right, that's good. That's 80 by 80. Okay, are we level? Yeah, now they're level 1s. Now I have my lock to progrades. So these folks will level up as we keep doing this stuff. Okay, yeah, let's get ourselves over to our target here. Hopefully we can do this quickly and get ourselves going. I think I might have to pop ahead in orbit. Yep. Have to ride around a little bit. Oh. Back a bit. Try and get that encounter distance as small as I can. Oh, I'm wondering if we have a bit of an inclination difference here. We do. We'll deal. We shall deal. Whoops. So what do we got here? 4 kilometer separation, 3.9. Oh, that's about all I'm going to get. Yeah, unfortunately got a bit of a slight inclination difference here. That's okay. I don't know if it's me. Is it me? Yeah, it was my ascent. My ascent was less than ideal. That's okay. So we got 45 minutes. Gonna do a quick save here. Put this on this view. And now we won't use the alarm clock. How do you feel about auto leveling up the Kerbals? The reason why I put on the auto level Kerbals on this campaign is because I don't have... Every Kerbal's did just one mission, and that was it. So if I didn't have the auto leveling on, I would have perpetually level 0 Kerbals. That's the reason why I did it. And I think that's justifiable. Now, having said that, like I said, there is a science lab. Sorry, I'm going to have to adjust the thrust on these Raptors. There is a science lab aboard what we're heading for. So even if I didn't have it on, I would be able to level them up anyway once we docked. So it's not like it's helping me a huge amount. Oh my gosh, let's go to 10%. Okay, let's turn this into a 5-second burn. That makes me feel better. 8-second burn. Sorry, that's still fine. Okie dokie. And we should be fine for electricity because of our RTGs. We should be basically perpetually at full now, whether we're in the sun or not. Well, welcome, Eduardo. I'm glad you made the stream. He's saying it's the first time he's been able to make it. Yeah, hearing talk also about going to Gilly. Gilly is the cheapest target after the moon and Minmus. So in that sense, and it's very easy to land on, like it costs you almost nothing to land on it because it's like almost no gravity. But it is tricky to hit. It's getting the Gilly encounter. It's such a small target. It's very finicky. Oh boy, it doesn't even look like those Raptors are burning with how little thrust I put on. Okay, so I'm looking at that intersect distance. I think I got it down to 3.9 or something like that. Oh, started going back up. Okay. So 4 kilometer separation. I'm thinking I might do, I got my ascending node right here, that I might just do a little bit of a correction here. I'm not quite sure which way to go. I think. Oh yeah, I'm north of it, so I gotta come this way. Actually, if you just watch where the ascending, oh my gosh, I need much more than this. Going up in 10th. Oh, I flipped them around. So I'm just trying to bring that closest approach just down to something reasonable. Actually, I think I'll go the other way. No, that's not helping. Well, it's 1. There we go. Now I'm getting picky. Gotta get... Oh, no. Okay, there we go. We're at like 100 meters, so... We'll do this Oh, this is more of a burn than I thought, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. A little bit of a correction here. And then, come on, get over there. And then we'll do the docking, and then we'll start with the plan. I have been thinking about it. What's the plan for doing this? Oh my gosh, I'm still locked to prograde, you dummy. There we go. I was considering different options, but I think I do have a plan. But if we, docking comes first. And I will say the plan is not super well considered. Just sort of looking at a Delta V map and thinking about stuff. Didn't go into any calculations in any kind of detail. Oh, look at that. 33 meters over at this end there. I'm very, very happy with that. So let's basically heading straight at it now. Put this on there. It's going to point its back end at it. Where is it? There it is, coming at us from the sun. Okay, so yeah, I don't see any reason to. It's getting closer. And we'll start reducing our speed. Here, it's like straight up. Let's see. Can I? As long I'm looking at, I'm 50 seconds from my target. I'm starting to push it up. So I was worried for a little bit because I turned the thrust limiter way down on these things that... here, put it back on the bars. That I wouldn't have enough thrust to slow down quick enough. But as long as I can keep the time to my target from going down further, it should be good. Okay, let's try that again. Reducing velocity. You can see I need to push a little this way. A little more throttle. There we go. Now the time is going back up again. It's kind of a big thing. It's coming at us from out of the sun. I think I'm on the wrong side of it. I see a whole stack of engines pointing at us too. Why am I should push it off a little bit because I can tell I'm going to have to go around it. Get it off of there. I'm just pushing the retrograde intentionally off. Here, slow down more. Now I can go to retrograde. You can see I got to come past it. I'm still kind of going fast. Slow down. That's feeling better. Okay. So we'll slip by here. The docking port's at the other side. Push a little bit away with RCS. Don't want to end up scratching the paint. Okay, so here's what the plan. Now, last time when I went to Moho, I docked this entire beastie with this entire beastie and took this whole thing to Moho, even though only this front half was going to land. And I did it because I kind of just wanted to do it. But that was foolish, because clearly this part here is only going to be used again when we try and descend down to Kerbin. So the best plan would simply be to ditch it here. And considering that I do want to kind of keep my options open for Dres, I'm going to do exactly that. I want to really minimize the amount of Delta V I'm going to use. So the first thing is to get rid of unnecessary mass. So now there are resources in here. There's a tank here that's completely empty. that I want to steal whatever resources I can out of here. Because, you know, I might as well. Okay, that's that one. Yeah, that's the one I want to keep. That one's now empty. This one's got liquid fuel and oxidizer in it. Okay, these should have liquid fuel in it. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. And liquid fuel here. Oh, and there's going to be liquid fuel in there. And in there. Might as well just steal all of this, because it could come in useful. The nuclear engines that are on that guy can certainly use the liquid fuel. Steal all the resources that I can. All right, I'm thinking that's it. Okay, so let's lose this whole bottom business. Lose that. Undock. And then we're going to control from here. And these are disabled? Yes. Let's undisable those. So port, dorsal, fore and aft. Do I need to do that for all of them? Shoot, yeah. Port, dorsal, fore and aft. These were disabled when we were in spaceplane mode, because they're underneath the fairing. But now I want them. Okay, there we go. And I got to control from here. I got to spin this around. So now you can sort of see how this is. Whoa, let's not bonk the nose up there. And start pushing ourselves a bit in the right direction. Why can't I select that docking port? Really? There's a docking port here. I should be able to select you. Okay, come back. Okay, set that as a target. Where's what I'm aiming? There's what I'm aiming for. Now, it feels like I'm kind of going in the right direction. Kind of going by eyeball. I can see my target indicator there. It doesn't really matter how this is rotated. Here, we'll do that. Though I always sort of get in. Oh, I can see my target. So that's a good sign. Here we go. Let's sort of aim it in the right direction. I don't want to get your birdie, the docking port, and your prograde indicator all going in the right direction. Of course, that means the alignment isn't right. I can see that. That has to come this way. That way looks okay. Of course, that means this is not right. Okay, let's get in there. No mods. I do like my... Let's aim the camera here. I do like my docking helpers to try and do this a little bit better, but... I think it's okay. We're getting in there. I think we're going to be fine. And sort of the plan with that plane half is hopefully at some point we will be returning to low orbit about Kerbin. And, you know, we'll undock, connect to here, and then it's a plane again, and then, you know, that is that. Now, let's, okay, before we get going, I do want to steal as many resources as I can out of these stages. The sort of funny, I'll do this even like. If you notice that these tanks with the nerves on the bottom of them have these funny sort of shaped tanks on the top, that's because that is all about extra liquid fuel and oxidizer. Why are you not working? Why? I'm not, no. Do I have to enable some sort of disable? Okay, disable and enable crossfeed. Don't tell me there's a crossfeed thingy. In. There we go. Now we're going. So I want to take as much of this as I can, because this was actually all here specifically to fuel up the lander, because the lander part went up empty to save mass. So before I start flying and ejecting stages, I want to make sure I don't eject any resources out at the same time. Lots of oxidizer. Let's time warp that. Oh, I went the wrong way. Oh my gosh. Stop. In. There we go. Going the wrong way. What's a good mod for docking? I personally like... Oh, I'm out of oxidizer. Okay. I personally like nav ball docking alignment indicator, which just puts a little icon onto the nav ball. I like it because it's so minimalistic. Now, there is a very similarly named docking alignment indicator, which frankly it puts is another brilliant docking mod, but it puts a whole new window on here. Damn, why are some of these being this way? What if I went... Oh, because I'm going out. Stop it. Is that what I was doing before, just hitting out? I might have been. I do dumb things like that. Okay, so that tank is full. And I think that's the only fuel tank. That just has monoprop in it. And this is just RTGs. Yep, that's it. And we're bringing a science lab along with us for absolutely zero reason. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, let's start thinking about our departure. Now, I'm going to use the maneuver tool. And I sat there thinking about, do I want to do gravity assists? I mean, the absolute cheapest way to get out to wherever is to go to Eve first. And get it, because Eve's the cheapest planet to go to. You get a gravity assist off of Eve, and then you can keep going from there. You can get multiple gravity assists off of Eve. But I think that's getting too fiddly for a live stream, so I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to go for is Jool. And use Jool for a gravity assist to get me out to Eeloo. So there is my Jool burn. Let's go check it out, because sometimes that maneuver tool does some wacky thing. Oh, wait, let's create it. Let's see what that's like. So that is a 2,045 meter per second burn. And yeah, that is hitting Jool. And then we should be able to, let's focus in on Jool, see what it's like. We should be able to use Jool to give us a little bit of a push. So it'll be a temporary jaunt around Jool. And let's see, I do have, yeah, it's prograde and a little anti. I'm just wondering if I can get this a little closer in any way. So let's see if I can, what happens if I do some things to it. Like that, yeah, see? Why didn't you do that? You dummy. And I wouldn't mind if I could come in the right plane. I think that's going to be trickier. We'll have to make some sort of a correction. Tiny little adjustments on the prograde retrograde parts making a big deal. Okay, we're just going to go as close as we can, which is about there. We'll be making a mid-course correction. That is kicking us well out past Eeloo, so you can see the gravity assist is not going to be a problem. But we'll do that. Now, this burn's coming up in 1 year and 89 days. So what I think I shall do is set up an alarm. Alarm. That's right. Oh, it already set up the alarm for me. Okay, so I want to edit this alarm. It's giving me 1 minute before the burn. This is going to take multiple, like it's an 18-minute burn with, even though there's a bazillion engines on the back, this thing weighs a ton. So, methinks, what's the TWR? Oh, yeah, let's turn up the thrust limiter on that. That will help a little bit. I turned this down when I was fiddling with docking. Or not fiddling with just getting it into its orbit. Let's change this to 75. I wish it would change both of them. Okay, that's a TWR of 1. It's not going to burn on that stage for too long, so I might as well just stop that. Okay, that's brought down half a minute off the burn. But either way, we're going to have to do this in multiple passes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself, make sure I'm in the right box here, 30 days warning so I can get that all set up. So I'm going to apply those changes. That should change that. Yep. And close that. And I'm going to quick save. And we're going to go back to the KSC. We'll do our time warping from there. It's over a year. Was it much over a year? It can be over a year. If I just missed a window. I'm not entirely trustworthy of the... Here, I'm going to turn it down to try and not have the sun go whipping by every time. Where's our alarm here? This won't take long. This is better than watching it spinning around in its orbit. One year, 189 days. Yeah, maybe. The maneuver tool does some funny things, but it does save a ton of time. I've had it set up some pretty funny encounters. All right, we're getting close. Whoa, 1 year. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're past the 1 year part. Oh, my gosh. Pretty hyped. Javier's pretty hyped about interstellar travel in KSP2. Oh, man, Sankang just joined and asking, what am I trying to do? We are taking this stupid vessel that I built that went to Moho last time and is now hopefully on its way to Eeloo. But we're going to be using Jool, give us a little bit of a kick. But right now we're just time warping to our transfer window. This is going to be another spectacularly long mission with all the gravity assists. Hello, Anthony. Welcome. Okay, where are we here? Still... Oh my gosh, 170 days still. I think I've mentioned many, many times that when you're doing this kind of stuff, it would be really nice to have one more times 10 on this time warpy in the stock game. I know there's a mod for it, but... Of course, what would have been really smart would have been to have done all this before you guys ever showed up, before I ever started to stream. That would have made a much more sense, wouldn't it? We're almost there. All right, and alarm's slowing down. Slows down a little bit. There we go. Almost here. Close that. And there. And yeah, I want to jump to the vessel for sure. When is the RP1 flag planting going to happen? Not for a while. Okay, so let me just check on this is still doing something sensible, because I've often seen, yeah, that all looks the same as it did, so that's pretty good. So that flag, it's still 30 days away, so that can give me some time to do some pre-burns. Now, you gotta keep the pre-burns below, 950 meters per second, because 950 meters per second will boot you out of the system. So what I think I shall do is make one here at about 400 meters per second, and then another one at about 500 meters per second. So I'm just going to actually, just if I go, where was maneuver number 2 again? I should actually do some of that normal enough. What is the proportion between normal and... I'm getting out my calculator. I should put in some normalness to this pre-burn too. So I'm looking at the ratio. I'm dividing the amount of normal by the amount of prograde in the burn that the thingy calculated for me. And I'm storing that number. You can see all that, of course, because you can't see my calculator. And then I want to take about... I don't know. I want to get back to maneuver number 1. If I go like 495 times that ratio. Okay, that gives me how much? Oh, that's not much. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was worrying about it as much as I was. So this is going to be about 495, and this should be 14.6, negative 14.6. It was negative. So now the ratio between these two numbers is the same as the ratio between... That doesn't seem right. I'm going to do that again because that feels completely wrong. 530.094 divided by 1972.11. Yeah, I did something wrong. Store that in memory. And then 495 times that ratio. 133.05. That seems much. So let's go back to this first one. 100 negative 133.05. Okay. So there is maneuver number 1. That the plan for... Oh, it's this like just... Oh, let's hop it ahead in orbit. And what I need to do is play with the timing of it. So that it is in the same location as the maneuver that the game previously calculated for me. I'll explain this in just a little bit, but this should work. Why is that chasing away from me? Okay, I'm confused why. Okay. I should be able to catch... Whoa! Oh, shoot. I just hit a ton of normal. Ah, this should have an undo. Oh, I still have that number in my calculator. Negative 133. Negative 133.05. Why are you being this way? 133. What is going on? 133.05, and that should be a negative number. Put a negative sign at the front of that. There we go. Trying to get this maneuver so it's on top of that maneuver, and I'm not quite understanding why this keeps running away from me. There we go. Okay. Ah, now that's looking more sensible. So the idea here, play with the timing just a little bit. There. So if I do this pre-burn, then we do this burn. Of course, this burn's now too much, so we're going to end up having to scale that off a little, scale this down a little bit. But that should all be doable. Like, it should now be I don't know what the heck it's doing now. What is it doing? Sorry, something's not right. Just let me delete this one. I'm sorry that this is... Okay. There's that burn. That should be getting me out to Jool. It sure is. Okay. I should be able to do another burn on my current orbit. 495. Negative. Still got the number on my calculator. 133.05. And that somehow is messing. Because you don't want to mess up. There we go. No. What if I pop it ahead a couple of orbits? Oh, I know I'm getting the moon encounter. That'll all get adjusted later. I think maybe that... Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. I know what I got to do. I got to pop ahead orbits. Now I should be able to play with this time and get this right. There we go. So I got this burn, and then that's heading out. This burn's now not right. I have to actually bring it down, but that's okay. We'll deal with that in just a little bit. Now what I need is on this one, when I'm coming back, to add another maneuver. And that one should be, let's go with 400. And again, 400 times that ratio. 107.5. Well, that should be negative as well. Pushing something that's making that. Okay, so there's that one. And maneuver number 2. There. And you want this one to be right where that one comes back. Maybe pop it ahead in orbit. I think it might be a little bit too much. I think it's leaving the system. It is. Oh, yes. Okay, I know what I got. I got to pop ahead orbits. Yeah, until that one comes back. There we go. Now it's starting to make sense. It's been too long since I've last done this. Okay, so all these are in and around the same. So we're going to do this burn, then we do this burn, and then we're going to come back and then we do the remaining part of the burn and head us out to Jool. Now, the third burn is now way too much, so I need to scale that back. You know what? I'm thinking I might change the second one to... let's leave it. Let's leave well enough alone. Get by the third burn. Okay, so I need to make this less by... I put in 495 and 400 for some dumb reason. So that's 1972.11 minus 495 minus 400. So that is now 11... should be 1077. Come on, 1077.11, and then if I multiply that by my magic ratio that I've been keeping, that equals negative 289.52. And in theory, you can see I need to move this a little bit. Maneuver 3. here. Other way. Okay, maybe I need to move maneuver 2. There we go. Oh. I'm only seeing the 2. Oh, it's not showing it. It's out here. It's just not showing it. So hopefully this should be pretty close to hitting Jool. In theory. Set Jool as a target. Why did setting it as a target change stuff? Screw it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the first pre-burn and then I'm going to fiddle things as we go. I think that's what I need to do. It's doing some weird stuff. We'll figure it out. There we go. I'm close. I'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. All right. So let's do this. So maneuver number 1 is coming up. I'm going to do a quick save in case I've completely botched this. In 2 hours and 33 minutes. And it's only a 3-minute and 20-second burn. So that should be good. So let's time warp to that. Turn this to this view. And hopefully I haven't completely botched this. Okay, we're a few minutes ahead of the burn. We're going to snap that to the maneuver node. I have obviously a high-level probe body in here. This thing is very sluggish in its orientationness. Why does this feel so wrong? Like, am I just... Oh, wait. Control from here. I know why. Control from here. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would have been a disaster. I still had it set on the backwards docking port for my control point. I was going, this can't be pro grade. What is going on? So it still has some time to spin around. And another set of reaction wheels might not have been a bad plan. Yeah, so the whole deal with the doing this in multiple burns is to maximize the amount of time you're burning close to your parent body, because that maximizes the efficiency of the burn. That's the whole idea. Unfortunately, the original was like a 2,000 meter per second burn, and you can't. You can only do about 950 of that before you exit Kerbin's SOI. So no matter how you shake it, you do have to do still most of it in that one last final burn. I'm just rolling this so that the vessel is pointing oriented with the blue up for no reason. That looks all way more sensible. So you can tell there's going to be a... Well, actually, at the beginning here, there's not going to be a ton of engines. There's just these two. This was part of the launch vehicle that got this thing into orbit. And I figure I might as well make use of what little fuel is still remaining in them. But then after that, we're into... all of these nerve engines are all going to come on all at the same time. So it's going to be a show. Yeah, I was kind of winging doing that calculation with the ratio and stuff like that. It was just so that this part has a normal component to its burn that's in proportion to what the original burn was, so that I'm not just doing the pro-grade part of this, I'm also doing some of the normal part of this. Taking care of it all at the same time. There we go, pointing in the right direction. Hopefully. Okay, got about 25 seconds left. This is definitely going to be 2 or 3 streams, this whole thing. That's okay. Even with the that this was all built and ready to go, this all takes so much time. Oh, no offense, the rocket is ugly. I don't take offense to that at all. What's wrong with ugly? Okay, right, 1 and go. There we go. On the, what are these things again? The Mammoth engines. It gets prettier as it goes. As it loses stuff. Alright, and... Stage. There we go. There are Separatrons on that, are there not? Oh, there aren't. Okay. We just slip away majestically like that. I thought there were. Okay, there we go. So we don't have, like, what's the 0.16 thrust to weight ratio, even with all of those, because this thing is so huge. And it is huge because it is rather stupid. I will be the first to admit this is kind of a dumb thing. But I did slap this all together live. So that's going to be my excuse. And now that I have it together, and it's demonstrated its usefulness, I am going to stick with it. That is a lot of nerve engines. Yep, it sure is, James. How many are there? There's 3, 6, 9, 13 nerve engines. But what it does have is a lot. I think we started with over 10 kilometers of delta V. That's a good thing. I don't know if it's entire. Well, there are unnecessary bits. Like, I could lose this science lab for sure. Well, I also have solar panels. Now these solar panels can be extended. I guess there's something to be said for that. The boosters were in the way of the solar panels. Look how slowly we're getting away from our boosters. It's still back there. We're not making a quick getaway. Oh, you have no idea, being talked about how many rocket parts there are floating around. You have no idea, because I have not. Where's my debris? I have not been cleaning up my debris. I have debris like everywhere from all the missions that I've done. I've been scattering debris. There is no shortage of debris. It is a goofy lander, I will say that. Oh, it's not quite. I gotta get the docking ports and do some rotating that around. It's not quite lined up. Not that that's important. Okay, where are we at? We still got about 45 seconds left in the burn. These folks are all eager little beavers to get out there. Okay, we're coming towards the end. That's funny. I used to play this game and be really concerned about debris, and now I just don't care. If every once in a while I might collect, delete debris in the tracking station. But with this particular playthrough, I've been like, whatever. Cut. Okay, there we go. So that's the first of 3 burns. Hopefully, we can make this work. Now, let's see. This guy here should be at periapsis. So let's just move it there. And then this burn's way out there. So let's pop ahead orbit some more. That makes it go the wrong way. Let's back off on the orbits. If I can. Okay. That's cool. And now let's jump forward a bit in time. No, I should be able... Actually, no, I don't want to do that. No, what I want to do is just grab this. What do I want to do? Yes. Just grab this, bring it back. There we go. Okay, so this will be the second bit of this burn. Now, I don't know how I'm doing on my way to Jool. Close enough. We'll tweak that in the very, very last one. So this next burn's coming up in a few days. We're going around a little bit, so that's all cool. I'm going to use the alarm clock for this one. So create an alarm. Give me like, for the maneuver, give me like 5 minutes warning. And a quick save, because I just flat out don't trust you. Okay. And we're still not going to be staging anything, so this thing might be overbuilt. Oh, more. Come on, you're going days in advance. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. There we go. Okay, next time around, a periapsis should be the 1. Delete and close, and lock that again onto there. We got about 4 minutes to go. This burn probably could have been more. It's not even making it out to Minmus, but that's okay. I should have been checking for moon encounters while... on the next one, I got to check for moon encounters. Because I want to make sure I don't end up, as we're flipping around this, ever hitting the moon. That would be problematic. Actually, I can check for that right now by simply putting a maneuver here. And then popping ahead orbits. If I set the moon as a target... that one. Because you would see the moon encounter. Well, I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to go back to the... oh, no, that's now the 3rd one. Let's delete. Make sure I'm deleting the right one. Yep, okay. I don't think I'm going to get a moon encounter. That's good news. Okay, let's get ready to do this burn. Still 4 minutes. Let's get a little closer. There's a limit to how much debris it'll track. That's probably true. Does it just sort of start self-cleaning up? Sounds like it, looking at the chat. I'm usually deleting debris as I go. That's my typical MO. All right. Okay, this is round 2. Two, 1, and go. Again, the whole thing's about maximizing the amount of burning you're doing close to the planet. The other thing that this does too is it keeps your periapsis from dipping down too low and potentially going into the atmosphere, which sometimes happens if you're not careful with really long burns, because if you notice, I am burning down to some degree. I'm gonna physics warp here. get this over with a little quicker. All right. We're doing good. Do another physics warp on that. The one thing this vessel does not have as well is any kind of resource gathering. And I'm thinking that will likely be the modifications I'll make when I start thinking about the Jool system, which would be the next leg of all of this. Again, the plan here is to hit Eeloo and to hit Dres, and then do the Jool system. But I think with that, what you want to have is some resource collecting on the lander so that you can land in multiple places. Oh, we got something going by here. Gilly 1 debris. Tell you, there's a lot of debris. Okay, let's take the time warp off. Get ready to start slowing down. Okay, that is that. Close that one. We have one more burn. 1,100 meters per second. That will be the get out of here burn. Now this burn should be at our periapsis. So I'm just going to just move it there. It's not cooperating, but there we go. And as this will be our last burn to Jool, we do need to take this one and make it work. So this will take some tweaking. Hopefully I didn't mess this completely up, because that would make me angry. That's going the wrong way. So a little more prograde. And I can see normal. You can look at where the ascending node is. You want that ascending node close to where your intercepts are going to be. There we go. And then a little more prograde. Whoops. There we go. So some tweaking on that. Jool. Focus our view on Jool. Now we do want to get ourselves out towards Eeloo. So one of the things I definitely want to do is also see if we can at least get ourselves going in more or less the right direction. Okay, that's good. That's, oh, that is a Jool hit. Let's turn this down a little further. Wow. Tiny little changes are making huge differences. Okay, let's see what that does for us for the resulting trajectory. So this is the... Wait a minute. Let's get this all right. No, the red one. The red one is us after... Oh my gosh. Okay, let's... I'm already out... Oh, because of Jool's very, very goofy orbit, but... Or Eeloo's very, very goofy orbit. This is already looking a little bit encouraging. Let's set... I don't want to auto warp there. I want to set Eeloo as my target. There we go. Now all I care about is actually getting that ascending node to be touching this orbit. We're going to be spending some time getting our Eeloo encounter, but I want to get something that can at least... Be nice if we can also fiddle with this inclination a bit. Or let me get that. Okay. I got a feeling, oh, that's going completely the wrong way. Tiny, tiny little adjustments. That was like, wait, you know what? I should just not. We're going to have to make this a mid-courser, but this is encouraging. But we're getting it sort of, you know, the ascending node is very close to Eeloo's orbit, but I think we'll need to tweak that when we're out there. Now this burn's still not coming up for another 39 days. Somehow I ended up pushing it ahead of where it originally was, but I'm going to I'm going to quick save this. I'm going to kind of live with what I got. Again, I'm not losing any stages with this burn. Wow. I think I got a lot of fuel. I'm going to try and do some rotating here. So we're going to take this senior docking port. We're going to... Where's the rotating control there? Unlock the rotation. I just want to get this to look a little better. And let's see. Oh, that sent the whole thing tumbling. That's good. Let's lock that again. Okay, so we're going to have to do a few trips around. This is still almost 40 days. We're in an orbit with a period of 13 days, so we're going to have to go like 3 times around here. I'm just thinking, can I... You know what? Let's not mess with it. Let's not mess with it. I was about to say I could probably pop this back in orbit considering it's 9 days too far in the future, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to give what I got. It's working. Okay, so again, F5 for a quick save. And we're going to be going around a little bit, so kind of hang on. Oh, check the trajectory after Alpha's saying I should check. I'm still getting my Jool encounter, and I'm still getting close to Eeloo here. So I think I'm okay. But that's a good idea. Check it after the woo. Woo. Should be, yeah, this should be it. We should coming in. Oh, one more time. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't set an alarm. That's why I quick saved, because I do dumb things like that. So that's why I did a quick save. Oh my gosh, what a bonehead. I just started time warping and I did not set an alarm. It's all still good. Okay, alarm. Create an alarm. Oh my gosh. Okay, for that maneuver, give me 5 minutes warning again. Oh, what a rockhead. Okay. Now we shall try again. Doing it like it auto. I was going, oh, it should be stopping on this orbit. And then it zoomed right by. Okay, here we go. All right. Coming into our last trip. Get ready to say goodbye to Kerbin, everyone. This is going to be our last time round. None of them noticed the quick save and revert. Okay. So we can lock that back onto here. We should be getting ourselves down there. So this is a 10-minute and 10-second burn. Boy, we're going to have to be starting this pretty early. Almost ready. Let that get back onto its little maneuver node-y thing. I'll keep an eye on my periapsis. I definitely don't want to... It's still very close to where it was originally. I definitely don't want it to be dipping into the atmosphere. I think it should be okay. Because we do have a fair amount of speed. Again, no staging. That's amazing. Not far off, though. This stage is going to be pretty empty by the time this is done. Okie dokie, 10 seconds. Three, two, one, and go. All right, there we are. The final push. Yeah, it's amazing what can mess up subtle encounters. Definitely EVAs can do it. The rotating the docking part shouldn't, because there's no way that produced any kind of external force on this, but with this game, oh my gosh. I find time warping sometimes messes these things up. I'm always checking. Yep, bye, Kerbin. Oh, I'm pushing up my periapsis, so, oh, yeah. Oh, we already got our ejection, so we're on our way out of here. Our apoapsis has gone to a negative number. Our time to apoapsis is infinity. So here we go, the final push. Oh my gosh, why aren't I physics warping? There we go. Still got 9 minutes left in this burn, for goodness sakes. Noting we're on year 1, day 202 of this mission. Of course, most of that time was just spent spinning around in orbit until we got to when our ejection window was. That really could have been saved by keeping these folks on the ground. I'm warping to that, but it's okay. They don't mind. Life, you know, when you don't have life support mods, you kind of... This becomes a lot harder with life support. You wouldn't do this nonsense with life support mods, all these gravity assists, because they do take so much time. You would just go straight out there. Okay. Coming towards our closest approach to Kerbin again, 25 seconds away from our periapsis, and then we should be on our way up and out of here. There we go. We are going up. Going up, saying bye. Somewhere back there, too, is the other half of this space plane. What I should be doing, too, is... What stage is going to go first? I think it should be... It should be this one. I should be checking for resources, in particular oxidizer that might still be hiding in here. Yeah. Oh, we're not using up that liquid fuel. Okay, I'll definitely have to do some resource shuffling so that when this stages, which will be at some point, there won't be a lot of fuel left in that I don't throw away any resources. I want everything that I can. That's actually how I end up messing up my Moho one, was doing some bad things with resource management. How's this looking on map view? Here we go. Where is our... Oh, here's our trajectory. Climbing up. I'm not entirely convinced Jool is doing much for me, because if you take a look at where we're not changing our trajectory too much. Oh well, it's gonna be fun going by Jool anyway. I don't think Jool's doing too much in terms of saving Delta V, is what I was trying to say. I mean, for goodness sakes, this is already almost at Eeloo's orbit. We'll live with it. Well, look how high we are. Okay, we'll look at it from here. Oh, time warp off. Here, let's set that as a target. That makes way more sense. Am I way... Okay, just a sec. Okay, I'm cutting the throttle. Why am I so far from... Whatever. I'm letting it go. We're on our way out of here. We're close enough. Okay. Yeah. I just noticed I was way off from where the close encounter indicator. You can see that like this last stage here is 20 meters per second left on that stage. Good thing I cut my throttle when I did. I want to look, yeah, like why is that off? Why are you even tumbling? Stop it. Here, let's put this view on locked so I don't have to deal with that. Okay. The next stage that's going to go are these ones, and that makes perfect sense. So what I want to do is just make sure there aren't resources here. Yeah, like that. And like that. Let's take out that oxidizer. Whether I need it or not, I want it. So, in. Just in case I need to refuel this, because it's going to land on Eeloo, and then I'm hoping to be able to land it on Dres. Okay, so what am I doing here? That's this one. That one's got liquid fuel in it, but what I should be able to... Okay, do that. And then on the opposite side, that's got oxidizer in it. I want to start using up this liquid fuel that's here. And that's got oxidized. Okay. For some reason, it's not letting me transfer it over, and I don't know why. There it goes. Again, just trying not to throw away resources. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now, just looking at this tank, and I want to make sure I'm gonna, yeah, this is the one that's gonna stage. Oh God, there's tons of what is this oxidizer down here? Okay, there's no way I need that. I don't know why that's there. There's tons up there. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why there's so much oxidizer there. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. But what I want to do, transfer this out to here. Cause, oh no, my delta V is going up now. Notice my delta V is now. It should start using up this. Oh my golly. That liquid fuel. That liquid. And I noticed I now have 63 meters per second. No, why do I have... I don't know. Again, it was months ago I put this vessel into orbit. There's oxidizer way down here in the bottom of all of this stuff. I have no use for that. Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, let's get out of Kerbin's SOI. Again, we'll set an alarm. SOI change. Add that alarm. I don't know how far away are we from that. Another day. So let's say goodbye to Kerbin. And then we'll tweak our... our Jool encounter. Yeah, despite all this goofiness, I'm still think I'm going to make it because I think this thing had a lot more resources than or a lot more delta V than I think it does. Okay, delete that and just get the SOI change. Boink, there we go. Okay, so we are now orbiting the sun. And what we need to do is do a bit of a correction. Oh, for goodness sakes. There. About there. And focus this on Jool. Oh, this is sure stinky stink not right. Did I cut this just early? Sorry, I'm just thinking I might... What happens if I just use a little RCS? Which way does this go? No. No, that's the wrong way. Okay, I overcooked it. I can see that now. We got to spin around. Get rid of this. I can see now I overcooked this and went past where I want. The best, I should have fixed this right away. But it's best to fix it right now. Hello, Dan. Glad you could make it. And drum speed. Okay, I gotta spin around because I can see now I overcooked that burn. So I'm just spinning around to retrograde. And I want to bring this periapsis in towards Jool. This shouldn't be done with the correction. This should be done now. In fact, it should have been done right away. But I messed it up. But I still got 8 kilometers per second of delta V in this thing. I don't think fuel is going to be a problem. See, that's bringing it back. And I know to get a boost from Jool, I need to be on this side of it. Just do this now. This maneuver's getting messed up. I'll have to reset that up. Okay, that's much better. Okay. Now let's do the correction. Okay, get to here. So I definitely want to bring that downwards and more. Oh, that's the wrong way. There we go. So let's switch this to Eeloo. Set that as a target. I need to get that maneuver back. And should play with the timing here a little bit. Not making a huge difference. Okay. Tiny adjustments. Making a big difference. So I want that out like that. That's exactly right. And I need to bring it the other way. Like that. And I would love to get this AN to be near the orbit. So what will make that happen for me? It's tiny, itty bitty adjustments. Oh, that was too much. Oh, look at how close I got my relative inclination with Eeloo. Very small. That's like beautiful. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And now let's see. Can I bring it in closer? I'm not going to get an encounter with this because I'm sure Eeloo's in completely the wrong spot. I'm hitting Jool twice. I think that's what's happening there. But a relatively low. Okay, I think I'm gonna make this the correction. I'm only got a 1 degree difference between this orbit and Eeloo's very inclined orbit, so I'm like ecstatic about that. And I'm sure I can manipulate this orbit to get myself an Eeloo encounter. So I think I'm going to, next step is to do that burn. It is 2-second burn, even with our teeny tiny little thrust to weight ratio. Again, F5, let's get used to, why are we tumbling and bumbling? Let's put this on auto. Don't know. Oh, I'm still locked on retrograde. Turn that off. Okay. Alarm clock. Create an alarm for this maneuver. 5 minutes warning, because this thing's still slow to spin around. Add that alarm. So that one's coming up in 1 year and 97 days? Are you serious to get out to here? I guess so. When's our Jool encounter? 4 years. Oh my god, I guess that makes sense. I'm just not used to having to go that far. Okay, let's... Alright. Like, really say bye. So we're on our way at full time warp now. Salutations, Epic Incarnate. Jacob's asking what's up. The up is we are got a Jool encounter coming up to tweak our orbit and get hopefully sometime an encounter with Eeloo. That's the what's up part of this. And to be honest, I was poo-pooing my Jool encounter, thinking, oh, who cares about Jool? But what it's really doing, it's not so much the boosting of the orbit, because it's not changing the apoapsis too much, but what it's really doing is look at that inclination match between the target orbit, like this resulting orbit and Eeloo's orbit. That is great, and I'm getting that for largely free. So I'm really getting a happy encounter with that. How many flags planted? It doesn't it say up there in the top here, it is 7 out of 15? That's the plan. I don't think we'll be doing number 8. We'll see. If I'll get to the point of actually getting to Eeloo, that would be cool. Looking at the stream. Oh, let's see that it's hidden underneath. I can see, just a sec. I'm just going to fix something here. I can't move that just a little bit. There, now I think people can see it. It's hiding underneath the stuff you can do while time warping. All right, we're just about there. All right, and we'll put that onto the maneuver node. And I'm not going to wait this 5 minutes to orient because it's not a time-sensitive situation. Then our next stop's Jool. But what I want to do is turn this purple orbit into this light blue orbit. And it's really the inclination that I really want to get right. We can make everything else work. If we can get into the same plane as Eeloo. Okay, just about locked on it there. And this is only a 4 meter per second burn, so this won't be much. Okay, let's do it. There's our orbit all over the place, but it should, that purple one should settle down and be very close to being in the plane of Eeloo's orbit. That's the idea. That's Jool working for us. Whoa, I think I overcooked it. Let's use RCS to back off. What is our relative inclination is points. You know what? That's what's more important. We can make everything else work once that's done. Okay, our next step is Jool in 2 years, 410 days. Okay, and we're just going to ride. I should check. You know, it can be an issue with Jool is encountering any of these moons would not be great. Should be good, though. Oh, look, we're not coming far from Lathe. Missing Val by a lot. And then I think we're out of the plane. Yeah, we should be good. Tylo? Yeah, okay. All right, so... Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to go here and set Eeloo as our target again. Okay, another alarm. Another alarm. This one is for our sphere of influence change. Give us a day. Give us 2 days. Let's add that alarm. Because I find these get really messed up sometimes in this game. It really kind of wants to blow by. I don't know what it is with the game now. My signal strength is pitiful. Because I just have a crappy RA-15 relay antenna. Oh, we might lose communication for a few years. I never upgraded the antenna after because this thing, again, the original intent was it to go to Moho, and I never did upgrade the antenna. So it's got a Moho capable antenna on its way out to Eeloo. Oh well. We still got their bandwidth is getting pitiful. They're watching Netflix, but it's like, you know, 1 frame every minute. We're gonna lose this signal strength too. Oh well. Hello there, Anonymous. So we are time warping at maximum time warp on our way to Jool. And then it's going to be about trying to tweak this purple orbit to get an Eeloo encounter. We have now lost our signal. Nobody back home's knowing what's going on with this crew. But that's okay. They don't need any help. They don't need mission control or anything. Oh my gosh, I have one more time warp. Getting some spam in the chat. Oh, for goodness sakes. You know, this usually isn't so bad, and then sometimes it just... Delete that one. It's every time it's like whack-a-mole. Every time I delete one, it goes, how things going with the game? We're still time warping at full speed, so this happened at the right time. There we go. Spam bots. I blame Anonymous. Still got a lot of time warping to do. Oh boy, oh boy. So you can see Jool creeping in on us. Still got what? Still got another year hanging out. We're just going so slow. I guess with our loopy sort of path around Jool. Yeah, typically my streams aren't popular enough to really attract the bots, but this one's doing pretty good, so that might be it. Okay. What I find so annoying is that those stupid spam bots get through, yet at least 3 or 4 times so far in this stream, I've seen people make completely fine comments. that don't mean, you know, that aren't spam at all, and they get held up for review, waiting for me to click on them and saying if this is okay. So, I don't know. AI algorithms, what are you going to do? They can't tell what's a normal comment and what's an actual spam. All right, where are we here? 200 days to go. Hopefully this is going to stop. Can I quick save? Yes. Okay. I just quick saved because I don't trust this. I've had this thing to blow right by and do all kinds of weird things. I think it's behaving okay now. But I got to keep an eye on it. Yeah, there's just there on the streams, there is a, YouTube has a, it's just like you can set the filtering on low, medium, or high. Like that's all. It's not very specific on what you do. Okay, is it gonna stop? It is. See? Good game. Good game. Stopping right when you said you're supposed to. Should be able to see, where is Jool relative to us? If I take a look at where the sun is, go a little more this way. There's, no, maybe not. Should be able to see Jool. It's so big. Find it so hard to sometimes spot planets as they're coming up. Like we're in the same. Okay, let's just do this. Just manual like. Okay, and our resulting orbit is still pretty happy. I think so. So this is just riding around Jool. Where is Jool? I'm looking at this. If I look at the sun and go a little bit to sun. Okay. Let's just, again, create an alarm just for periapsis. I don't want to just blow by Jool. Still 48 days away from Jool, but I want to see Jool coming. I think it should be this direction. A little faster. There it comes. There's Jool. You can see all of Jool's. We'll be back at some point because there are 5 flags just waiting for us around here. Oh, going around Jool. I know we're coming really close to Lade. Look at that. But not quite in its SOI. That was just the alarm to make sure I didn't just go right by. Okay, let's keep going. We shouldn't be coming close to any of the other bodies, but I knew there was a really close lathe encounter there. All right. And we are back out in orbit about the sun with this nice 0.7 degree inclination difference with Eeloo's on. Like, that is just lovely. Now, what I want to do is I see no, even though we're crossing Eeloo in 2 spots here, pretty much, what I might do, because where is Eeloo? Yeah, it's like way on the other side. And it moves so slowly. But what I might just do, how much would it cost to just zero out this inclination? Because that would be super. And if that's not going to cost me much, that's the wrong way. Beautiful. And that will facilitate the encounter. It's only 61 meters per second. We're not encountering Jool this time around, but let's get to that maneuver. And this will just make our inclination a lovely 0. Oh, that will finish off this stage, though. It'll be enough to finish this stage off. Okay, so... Can I see relative inclination here? No, you can't. Okay, then... Oh, wait. Never mind. Nope, it wouldn't give us that. Okay, alarm. Alarm, alarm, alarm. I mean, a lot of alarms. Add an alarm. Okay, so how long till this? 4 years and 27 days. Oh my golly. That's what this is going to be. That's what this is. You know what? I think what I'm going to do for this stream... Oh my gosh, for one more time warp. One more times 10. What I think this is going to be is just setting up... I want to set up that Eeloo encounter. I'm just looking at the stream time, and I'm looking at how long this bloody takes to time warp. And what I am thinking is I want to set up my Eeloo encounter, convince everybody that it's coming, and then I'll do all this ridiculous time warping between the two streams, and the next stream is landing on Eeloo and hopefully facilitating an encounter with Drez. I still have 8 kilometers per second. I got to be a little careful. 4 kilometers per second is in that lander, which is way more than it needs. Well, whatever. Well, thank you, Steve. Steve is saying my KSP tutorials. He's enjoying them, which I greatly appreciate. We still have almost down to 3 years. It's this part up here, eh? You're just going so slow in this big elliptical orbit. I wish I kind of went straight for Eeloo now. Now that I'm looking at this, I think this is dumb. Or install that mod that gives you the one more time warp on this. Because, I don't know, this is like, just like watching paint. You know, at some point we're going to get our signal back with Kerbin again. We can tell everybody after our years of being in the outer part of the solar system that we're still alive, we're still here. I'm sure the folks back home will appreciate that. To be honest, I'm looking at, like, on this current orbit, as when we come back up here, our closest approach is not terrible. I might want to try and make this work. Because Eeloo takes... I don't know what Eeloo's orbital period is, but I suspect it's kind of big. And so, like, if I'm this close to Eeloo, it might be a long time before I'm that close again. I might just try and make this encounter work. We'll see. Right now... How much more time? We got 2 years of time warping still to go. Do you plan to send Kerbs to planets outside the Kerbal system with a Kerbalism mod? No plans on that, James. I've never played with any of the extra solar mods. I'm certainly looking forward to KSP and their take on doing that. KSP2, I mean. But I've not made any plan. My Kerbalism, I really need, like, for those people that have watched the Kerbal, it's kind of stalled. I'm building way too ambitious a moon base with an asteroid and flinging it around, and it's getting silly. And what it's doing is it's slowing me down. My rate at collecting science in my Kerbalism Let's Play is pretty slow. And what I really need to do is get that moon base built, and so you can just land in multiple biomes and just collect all kinds of science. Kerbalism really does slow the game down when it comes to collecting science. That or shove some Kerbals out towards Duna. I've not done much extraplanetary stuff in that series. A few probes have gone around, but no Kerbals. Your favorite planet pack is the Outer Planet pack. I've not played too much with planet packs, I'll be honest. I played a little bit with Je ne sais quoi, which is the changes the scale of the solar system not too real. I can't remember. It's like a 4-to-1 scale or a 2.5-to-1 scale. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And I've played a little bit with realistic progression. And honestly really enjoyed it, but there's a lot to learn. And one of my thoughts is to sort of play around in realistic progression live. Hey, we got our signal back to Kerbin. We're telling everybody we're alive. It's just with a live stream, there's a lot of tweaking and fiddling. 2.5 scale on Je ne sais quoi. Thank you there, House Mouse. Which is a really nice scale. The thing with Je ne sais quoi is to play it, but with the stock engines. If you play realism overall, you do want to get the mods that give you more realistic engines. But the thing with Je ne sais quoi is to play it on that on the bigger scale, but it's not so big that the stock engines become very, very difficult to work with. Okay, we are closing in. We're about 100 days away now. I'm just saying I must be still focused on Jool. I am. And you can see Eeloo very slowly making its way around. I'm really thinking I should try and make this encounter work. I'm really thinking that should be my plan. Okay. Believe it or not, we're coming into this. All right, so 5 minutes from the burn. I'm going to delete this. And let's just stick it onto the node here. This is just a normal thing to get our inclination to match Eeloo's orbit. And we will be losing a stage here, which is going to get me to quick save. I'm pretty sure I got the staging all right. I better check that. So this guy here is, these guys should be full, yeah, and this is the stage, and it's opposite one that should go, and it should be these decouplers here. Yeah, those, and then these separatrons. Yeah, it looks all right. So we'll be losing a stage. Hopefully this thing will look a little better with some of these. We're going to lose a stage, and 6 of our nerve engines are going to be gone. All right. And again, I'm not going to wait for this to get to 0 because it doesn't matter way out here. So I'm just going to punch it. Let's do it. We're going to lose some of these rockets here. Some of these still turning a little bit. Okay, getting ready to stage. There those go. Okay. And let's check on our what's our relative inclination now with Eeloo is now 0. So now the idea is to try and get these two together. And the way to do that is with a burn. Well, maybe let's try it down at periapsis. Either do a burn at periapsis or a burn at apoapsis. But what you want to do is affect this period so that by the time you get around here, Eeloo will get its chance to come around. I think we'll be going around at least a few times before Eeloo gets to here. What happens if I pop ahead orbits? Let's try that first. So if I do this, pop ahead in orbit, what do those close encounter indicators do? Yeah, see, they're further apart. But that's 26 years in the future. I can't do that. I could do that, but I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see if we can make this encounter work. So we're gonna do a burn here. I'm a little bit dubious whether I can get this one to work, but maybe a burn at Apoapsis might work. So let's see here. This one. Oh, I'm not hardly anything here. There we go. Come on. Oh, I just lost it. That's too little of a change. I don't think I'm going to get it. It's just not quite there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that one. We're going to try it out here. This gives you more flexibility because there's only so far you can lower your apoapsis before you're just below Eeloo's orbit. And then obviously you're not going to get an encounter. But I can push my periapsis up as much as I want. So where are my... Jool out of the mix here. Okay. There we go. This is what I'm talking... they're bouncing around. Oh, I don't want to make this too far. Oh, I don't think it's going to be happy. I don't think it's happy with me. No, okay, then what I'm going to do, delete that. That's way too much of a burn. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pop this ahead a couple of orbits, which unfortunately is like 26 years. Then I'm going to put a maneuver here on our current orbit. No, that's 20 years. I don't want it on... Okay, let's try this again. Back to this maneuver. Oh no, I know how I can do this. Just put a maneuver here at periapsis. This maneuver is in... Oh, I think it's just the periapsis that's... Yeah, it's okay. No, the maneuver's on this orbit. That's right. And now if I just tweak this a little bit, it should be... Yes, see? Now I'm making very tiny changes on my current orbit to adjust its period so that... Oh, come on. Come on. You want me. So that on this orbit 26 years from now, I should be able to get me an encounter. Come on. I know you're a small... Oh. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. Focus view. I mean, Kerbals don't age. They're okay. There's a reason why NASA's not planning a mission to Pluto. Not with people in it. Okay, back to this one. Tiny, like teeny tiny adjustments here. We're going to make this work. Okay, so there's my Eeloo encounter. Our closest approach is 26 years, 161 days from now. But it's only a 14 meter per second burn that's getting me that encounter. So there's that. So I still got lots and lots of delta V left. So what I shall do is between this stream and next stream, I will do this 26 years of time warping. And then I will rejoin this with us approaching Eeloo and hopefully landing on Eeloo and then hopefully facilitating a trip also out to Dres. So in the meantime, I'm going to thank everybody that's watching this in the stream. Thank everybody that is watching this at a later date. And of course, a very special thank you to my absolutely superb Patreon patrons and YouTube members. But I'm drawing this one to a close. So thanks everybody and have yourselves a great next week. Bye everybody.